So today we're going to be talking about Fear the Walking Dead's latest episode. I don't even remember the title, but Strand says it at the beginning. So for my spoiler-free part for this episode, I'm just going to give it an 8 out of 10, which is extremely high for Fear the Walking Dead. But let's keep in mind, this is my Fear the Walking Dead standards, as usual. They have their own specific scale, right? This episode had a lot of potential, and I would say it is one of the best episodes. The best episode, one of, as if there's many. The best episode of the season, this half of the season. I don't really remember how the first half stacked up, but it is plagued by convoluted plot points, characters acting in just stupid ways, just out of character ways, I guess, amongst other things. I got my notes, we'll go down the whole thing, but yeah, it does have potential under here, because you got the three main, I think only season 1 characters left, Strand, Alicia, and Daniel, all in this episode together. And that creates some interactions and dialogue that make you feel a little bit of something and a little bit of connection to the show, for the first time in so long, if ever. But, like I said, those other things weigh it down. So, that's what it is. Alright, so let's start off the top of my notes. One of the big frustrating things for me is Wes's character. So frustrating. This character, if they needed a character to act this way, unless this actor just wanted out of the show, like a ripcord fucking style, and they just needed him out of there, like, wipe me out any fucking way, I don't care. I don't want to be on this show anymore. And it seems like that's what they did, because Howard's character would have fit perfectly to behave this way, for him to have given up so much to Strand and so much of himself to Strand, and then for Strand to kind of start turning his ways, I guess. Again, all of this is super fucking convoluted, so it's even hard for me to break down. But for Wes just to go so full fucking psycho whenever he was so, to my memory, maybe he used to be a fucking like Dwight type character, I don't know. I don't remember him being that way, but for him to do all of this just because Luciana told a lie, like, yeah, that's shitty what Luciana did to Daniel, but also you can't correct shitty behavior by acting even shittier. That doesn't justify it, that doesn't make it okay, and that's exactly what Wes is doing, I'm pretty sure, and it's so fucking frustrating. So yeah, I don't know why they didn't use Howard for this, or why just pluck Wes and be like, okay, Wes is doing this now. And yeah, turning so heavily against Alicia that he's gonna kill her. Just crazy. They had like a thing back in season 5, I believe. It's just like, what the fuck, So that's a huge, just like a glaring issue for this overall for me. I won't harp on it for too long, but anyway. Why didn't there were so many points where Strand, like, at certain times, I guess they write it in a way where Strand shouldn't have died, but Alicia has the gun on Strand, point blank, beginning of the episode, didn't pull the trigger. It's just like, why not? Maybe you still have a sweet spot for him, I don't know, but Strand's to the point where he's unredeemable to me, and it's such a weird contrast with him, the way that they, will have him, like, have little sentimental moments with Charlie, but then also he'll be throwing fucking people off the top of the building for no reason. And, I know Negan, just to flip over to a different, comparison, Negan was a horrible character, like, in terms of being bad, but then he was redeemed, so why can't Strand do the same thing? Maybe that's what they're asking themselves. I feel like Negan had more of a reason, of a progression to get to this point, whereas Strand was just kind of doing it just because that's what the writers wanted, whereas Negan, once you see his backstory episode, or I don't know, maybe they're no different, but still, Strand just feels unredeemable to me at this point, but maybe not. So Alicia and Strand both have way too strong of like a self-importance. Honestly, they're both talking like, I'm going to be the one to change the world my way. No, I'm going to be the one to change the world my way. What the fuck are you talking about? You're going to change the entire world? Just you? Even today with like it's just a figure of speech, whatever, I know. But it's just so, I don't know, cringy dialogue, I guess. Especially because we've heard it so many times. Daniel, whenever he has a scene where he's supposed to be choking out this guard, maybe I was just looking at it wrong, but it did not look like he was choking. Obviously, he wasn't really choking the guard, but you're supposed to act like you're actually choking the guard, right? It didn't look like the chain was around his neck at all. And then to make it matters even worse, blood splatters onto the wall from like a handcuff, like a chain. It cuts through his jugular and fucking shoots blood like 6 foot up on the wall. Like, I don't know if I don't know if the people who make this show sometimes have a brain, to be honest with you. Because I'll tell you what, I'm somebody who usually does not catch things like this in shows. Despite me reviewing them, I more commonly do not. However, if it's obvious to me, then I'm sure there's 100 other things out there that are more obviously bad to other people. Let's see. There was a cool sheet kill with Daniel. There was like a plastic sheet hanging up, and he pops the guy in the head, and the blood splatters onto the sheet. That looked cool. I'll give him that. Oh, this is so fucking stupid too, man. I give this one such a high rating, but it's still, you can tell it pisses me off so bad. Strand, Daniel is like super trigger happy because he's, dementia ridden, whatever. And he picks up a log with everyone in the tower conveniently there, first of all. Second of all, Strand then tells him, what is that? That's a record of everyone in the tower. What the fuck? You couldn't have lied? You really couldn't have lied or stalled or at least acted like you were trying to come up with a lie? You just simply tell him something that could make him be like, oh, Ophelia's not in here. Pop, Oh, Jesus. So I do like the scene, though, following up. I like the scene with, well, first of all, I may have skipped it, but the gas mask scene where they throw the gas and Strand goes in with the mask on and pops everybody. I do like that, I guess, as a way for him to be able to take out so many people because everybody's choking on the gas. But still, it feels like he's just dodging bullets way too easily at some points in this episode, like literally running away and dodging them, several characters. But I did like the scene when Daniel sees Charlie and sees how she's sick from this radiation poisoning. I didn't like how he was like, oh, that's not my daughter, that's not Ophelia, she's not my daughter. I wish he would have been more upset, like, oh, she's sick, what did you do to her, Strand? Something like that. Because they did have a good connection. But I did like it overall, and I like him, Daniel's acting. The actor did a really good job whenever he's like choking up and he's like telling Charlie, like, look away, you don't want to see, what I'm going to do to Strand. And so it was a way that Strand got out of it and lived again, but I do like that, so, and the way it was acted for the most part. But again, Charlie, she's seen shit, she's done shit herself, just fucking, but okay, on the surface level, I liked it. Strand and Alicia do have some nice scenes where he calls her like his daughter, and I've kind of seen it that way a little bit too, although I thought he was talking about Mo in that scene initially, because he's got her too, right? So yeah, nice scene with Strand, but still not quite redeemable, I don't think. Although, don't get me wrong, I love Coleman Domingo as an actor. He absolutely kills it. So much charisma comes off of him. But at the same time, whenever you set him up as a villain, you can't just not have any payoff with it, I guess. You've set him up so high as a villain. High because he's in a tower. Haha, get it? Let's see. Oh, and it's so fucking crazy. This is another thing for the episode too. It's so fucking crazy the way, maybe it was just a pocket of Strand's men, I don't know, but the tower turns on him, and also they come here for this war. I've heard other people point this out. It didn't really bother me initially, but they come here for this war, and the whole army just sits the fuck outside, and they're not even like, I don't know, going to war, and it doesn't look like they will now. Yeah, Strand says he loves Alicia, which was nice. I like Daniel coming in at the last minute to save Alicia, and the way they let the scene breathe a little bit, but again, it all still feels too convenient, like, oh, she just got out of it this time. And that's another overarching thing for the whole episodes. As I mentioned in every fucking review, Alicia is allegedly bitten, and that's why she's running this fever for fucking weeks. That hasn't killed her. And she's still up walking around and shit. She faints occasionally, okay. But she's been running a fever from a zombie bite for fucking weeks. This is not. I rarely get mad at shows, like, to the point where I don't get mad at the point where I'll, like, tweet the fucking, you know, the writers of the show, how some people do with fucking death threats, like, hey, you piece of shit, you know, you killed off my favorite character. I don't do that. But the particular person who wrote this, where if it is the case that Alicia dies from the bite, confirmed, and she's been sick like this for weeks, you know, I'm tempted just about, hey, what the fuck? Who gave you this idea that this is in the lore? You know, it's not. Alright, just who gives a fuck, right? And let's see. Wes getting stabbed by Strand's sword was cool, because I really like that weapon for Strand. It looks cool. But it was dangerous of Strand to do this, because whenever you get stabbed, even if he didn't want to kill Alicia, him just pulling the trigger, he could have, like, pulled the trigger out of, like, a fear response and shot her anyway. So it would have looked better if Strand had stabbed her and then grabbed the gun out of the way, you know. And again, I know you're thinking, oh, it's just TV, you know, you can't take it so seriously, but this show has the potential. At one point, it had the potential to be, like, you know, one of the top shows on TV. All of the Walking Dead properties did. And it's shit like this that has made it not that way anymore. Daniel calling Luciana out as a liar, that was pretty funny. He was like, yeah, I'm not a liar, Luciana. Oh, but Daniel, they make it like it's just a exit wound, like on his shoulder, but it looks like he got shot like dead in his fucking chest. I'm pretty sure your heart is like in the center of your chest, so it wasn't his heart, but still, he got shot in the fucking chest. It looks like god damn. I know he's tough and everything, but they should have put that makeup bullet like up higher, you know, Jesus. Oh, and Alicia, this is, oh god, I'm gonna lower my rating for this. I think I'm gonna have to bump it down to a 6 after this, honestly. Alicia is mad that Strand killed Wes. Wes was 2 seconds from blowing your fucking dome clean off your neck. Strand killed him, maybe selfishly, maybe he didn't really do it for you, maybe he did it for him, but Wes was going, as far as we could tell, was gonna fucking blow your head off. So Alicia, if you are mad at Strand for that specifically, I hate your character, because he saved your fucking life just 2 seconds before. Wes, I've said it enough, I just have to say it, just hoping, I don't know, just hoping something is different. Let's see. The light breaks a little bit too conveniently for the tower, although I do like when certain events happen and it triggers other events to happen. But yeah, and then there's a weird cut after the light breaks. That's just me being a little picky, but I noticed that Strand and Alicia are on the ground, and then they're up all of a sudden. And I guess it is a kind of a nice cliffhanger, you know, the way, I guess it was fucking stupid for her to, you know, I don't know what she's really trying to do, like it's some big huge thing, like she's calling in all the fucking troops. This is a zombie apocalypse, half the population is gone. I don't know how many people you think are out there that really fucking need your help, but if there's a lot, then we need to rephrase this as an apocalyptic show, because there really shouldn't be that many just lingering around, you know, just waiting to zoom in at the drop of this, you know, epic mic drop or whatever. As they've always been doing, you know, oh, we're here to help, you know, bullshit. Cringy. Alright. But yeah, kind of cool cliffhanger. I'm guessing next episode she'll hallucinate, maybe, from being passed out, and we'll And then I'm guessing we'll see Madison, as many people have said, at the end of this episode coming up. And yeah, just I don't even have to go into any more detail. Clearly, I think it was a fucking mess, disappointing, and don't have high hopes for the rest of it. Despite how I sound in this review, I'm not depressed. Alright, let me know what you thought of it. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.